On a typical Sabbath morning in the West African country of Côte d'Ivoire, Seventh-day Adventists gather for church. Some meet in large churches, and some in small groups. But wherever they meet, you can be sure there will be music, for the people of this region have a song in their hearts. Côte d'Ivoire has a population of some 20 million people. Only 11,000 are Seventh-day Adventist. French is an official language, although some people still speak local languages. The main religions are Islam and Christianity, although some still practice spirit worship. The land is fertile, and often people make their living growing and selling fruits and vegetables. In the eastern part of the country, near the border of Ghana, a relatively new group of believers is meeting in this small church. Started within the last 2 years by global mission pioneers, this fledgling congregation is growing despite setbacks. Just a few months ago, one of the global mission pioneers sent to this part of the country got sick and died. But his fellow pioneers and the new believers are determined to carry on. The Sabbath service is translated from French into a local language. In addition to the sermon and offering, there's a special musical number by the choir. Music has played an important part in another new Adventist life. Getting around the campus of Kokodi University isn't easy for Jacqueline Bru-Kuwaku. Fortunately, the small quarters he shares with his brother and sister-in-law is on the ground floor, but he's come a long way from the little boy whose father carried him on his back on his first day of school because he couldn't walk on his own. Jacqueline recalls that he was often sick as a young boy, making it hard for him to finish school. He is the 10th of 12 brothers and sisters in his family. Growing up in the country, life wasn't always easy. While he was a teenager, his parents and his beloved older sister died. He was heartbroken and discouraged, but despite the pain, he was determined to go on. Some missionaries helped him get a wheelchair, and he found an outlet in music. In 2006, he decided to enter the country's radio-television musical contest and ended up being one of the finalists. The exposure opened new opportunities to study music and perform. Then in 2007, Jacqueline heard about some meetings being held on campus by Seventh-day Adventist. Jacqueline had heard of Adventist before. He had once sung at an Adventist funeral. He says he thought of Adventists as the church of don'ts. People who don't do this and don't do that. So when he heard that Seventh-day Adventists were holding evangelistic meetings on the campus, he went out of curiosity. By the time the meetings ended, Jacqueline was one of 11 people baptized. Becoming a Seventh-day Adventist wasn't an easy decision for Jacqueline. He belonged to another church, and they were helping him with his expenses, but Jacqueline was convinced he had found the true church, and he was determined to follow God, even if it meant losing his support. Today, you can still hear Jacqueline singing, for he has a new song in his heart. In the evenings, he meets with an Adventist fellowship group on campus. On Sabbath, he can often be found giving special music in church, or you just may hear him singing on the street. There's another person who has a song of joy in his heart, a missionary to West Africa. For it was an Adventist missionary from the Inter-American Division who was the speaker for those meetings. For more than 25 years, Pastor Danforth Francis and his wife have answered the call to tell the world about Jesus. Over the years, they have served as Adventist missionaries in a variety of countries. Thank you for helping carry a song of hope to the people of West Africa. Thank you for supporting Global Mission and the mission offerings, and for helping tell the world about Jesus.